Porsha wrote a coloring book about wanting to be R. Kelly's main girl despite him having a wife, leaving a woman that was screaming to be let out of R. Kelly's sex cult. She fantasized about her ex-husband being her man when he was in a public relationship with his baby mother. Then she's engaged to a dude whose soon-to-be ex-wife was her co-worker. She met both of them on the show at the same time and started an affair with him. So yeah, journalists are going to ask basic questions and not stroke your ego.
Damn. I'm sorry.
I work for Dish Nation. I am in the world of journalism. So my word needs to be...
journalism is...
So you're downplaying my job?
Give me a minute.
Hot mess, child. Let me get into this Kenya Moore intro because y'all know our girl name was mentioned. So that's why I'm using her intro, even though it's a Porsha Williams video. Let's get into the intro and into more of these comments and the hot mess that's been going on since Porsha Williams been co-hosting The Breakfast Club.
She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Fina love? Sisters Fina D coming to you all from Vina Tima News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
I'm going to summarize most of this because you're already on YouTube. So if you type it in the search box, you can find it easily, okay? Or go to the Tamron Hall show and you will find all of these interviews. So Angela Yee from The Breakfast Club, most of you are aware that she left. Angela has her own show now and she's doing great. During her interview, promoting her show and everything else that she have going on, Tamron asked her, aware that I said you're already on YouTube, just go ahead and search for yourself and all of that, but I changed my mind. So I have included a link in the description below. If you click that very first link in the description below, it will take you directly to the video for you to refresh your memory. For those of you who did not see or hear what Angela said on the Tamron Hall show. Okay, go all the way to the 6 minutes and around 18 or 19 seconds mark. And that's where the questions started. I'm going to summarize, okay? Tamron basically said to Angela that she was the lone woman, okay, on the show. And that whenever there was a controversy from Charlamagne or DJ Ambi, there were people who held Angela accountable in their minds for their actions, even though she had nothing to do with it. She then mentioned a few interviews and she said how, Charlamagne was being Charlamagne and thinking he's being funny in the moment, but he's really hurting people's feelings in that moment. And somehow people wanted Angela, to step in and stop him and, basically reel him back in. And Angela got dragged all over social media and blamed for that, which, she disagreed with because she does not believe that Angela should be held accountable for their actions, okay? She disagreed with people treating Angela this way because Angela's job is not to police the men on the show. She continued that people held Angela accountable for things the guys did, okay? How did that make you feel? Was her question to Angela. Angela responded that she wasn't there for one of the incidents. However, she still got blamed for it. She felt like sometimes she got it harder for something that the guys did. And then she continued, I want to make it clear that we are all three individuals who should be responsible for what we say separately and not as a collective. But it's hard because people will always affiliate the three of you together. And that's why she wanted her own show, because now she's accountable for whatever she say. And then Tamron Angela said that because you were the only woman on the show, it seems like people were always writing you. Angela responded, I was the only woman who worked there too when it came to producers and camera people, meaning it wasn't an easy room to be in. She felt like she needed more backup. There were times that she checked the guys behind the scenes. So what Angela meant was, she wasn't saying that there were not women helping produce the Breakfast Club as a whole, the entire show. She was saying in that room, once the door closed, the producers in that room were men. The people behind the cameras were men. She was the only woman in that room. Well, DJ Envy misinterpreted what she said and clapped back, and he was like, that's a lie. She's not the only woman working on the show, and it was a big mess. I'm not flashing what he said on the screen, and I'm not focusing on him because we want to get to the whole, how did Porsha Williams get dragged into this? So let's stay focused, okay? So now Porsha Williams, is co-hosting the Breakfast Club because what they're doing is they're testing different people to see who's going to fit in, replace Angela. They did have other male co-hosts, but you do need a female perspective on a show like that. You already have two men, so Porsha was there co-hosting. And then, of course, they brought up what Angela said on the Tamron Hall show and all of that. And that's when Porsha said, I'm summarizing, that she did not feel supported when she went on the Tamron Hall show. She felt attacked, when she was there, and Tamron was being shady, and she went on and on about not feeling supported. And Porsha basically wanted Tamron to support her mess, okay? But no, girl. You were able to, run away from the Real Housewives of Atlanta to not get those hard-hitting questions because of the mess that you put yourself in. And you're expected to go on the show with a real journalist and not get questioned. Porsha just felt like Tamara made it personal. Yes, a married woman, and I'm engaged to a man who is still legally married. At the time, Simon was, and allegedly there's news out there that I've been, taking around with him. And to correct the first comment that I read, that was an intense response to Porsha. Correction, Porsha and Simon been messing around allegedly way before that. They met off the show. So that's where social media comes in. Let's get into these comments. Okay, so I read the coloring book comment at the beginning. So let's move on to the next. Y'all don't let Porsha be not Fish Nation. Why y'all calling that woman old job Fish Nation? Cheh. Y'all don't let Porsha be on Dish Nation spewing hot topics for so long. She is confused. We all know Porsha is a little dissy. She doesn't know what a real journalist is. She just made Porsha look not smart because she simply isn't that smart. Called a spade a spade. Everything is not an attack, LOL. Porsha said something silly and Tamron called her out on it. That doesn't mean she did anything wrong. Don't blame Tamron because you slipped up. All I know is a lot of celebrities are upset when they can't lie in peace. Come on, somebody. And I would agree that some of these hosts or journalists can be a little much, but that's because you can't tell them 1 + 1 = 3. They're going to press your and tell you that's illogical. LOL. This the one. I'm not calling her that. Trying to come for a real journalist while she was claiming to be a journalist on RHOA. Let's put both Tamron and Lord resumes side by side and see whose work speaks for itself. Porsha, good, you use her name. Fans are like, I'm not saying his name in my video either, okay? They are the lowest level of, Lord, y'all not playing with Porsha and her fans, child. Ha ha ha, right. They are slow and less than smart. They all have something in common, like not knowing what the underground, y'all would never let Porsha live this down, Chad. And they think there are 265 days in a year. Laughing my bleep off. At this point, you can see people are being repetitive about, I don't know why y'all taking Porsha seriously. Same person who taught the underground. Exactly. So let's move to the next comments. And her grandfather was a whole civil rights activist. That's what really got me. Now, this comment right here, the person that this person is responding to basically wrote something along the lines of looking up to Porsha. So this person responded, laughing my bleep off. So, not knowing that the Underground Railroad was, once again, we're back here, is not actually a real train, is something to look up to. Oh, wait, pretending to be a wholesome, sweet Sunbelt while married to Cordell, then in a nasty divorce, slander his name is something to look up to. Oh, how about this? Getting on a reality TV show and publicly disrespecting and trying to violate and cause physical harm to her child father and his mother is something to look up to. And last but not least, pretending to be someone's friend, going into their home and sipping their alcohol and getting into their pool to only slide into the DM of that person's husband is something to look up to. The girl is trifling, point blank. Have to call a spade a spade. I said what I said, Nene voice. Oh my goodness. These people are dragging Porsha. Now, let's correct one thing. Porsha lies. They're sticking a little bit. The first comment mentioned how Porsha and Simon met on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, which isn't true. She met him and had something going on, allegedly, before the show. Now, this comment is believing what Porsha said on her show that, she sliding Simon DMs. But when she saw the divorce announcement, that's a lie as well, mama. That's not true, so let's correct that. They were already messing around, allegedly. Goodness, she's being read down. Okay, let's move on. Porsha is a cry wolf girl. It's lame. She needs to be canceled at this point. Now, I don't agree with the whole cancel part, but let's continue. Porsha wants everyone to kiss her. Tamron did nothing wrong. Porsha always sounds so dumbfounded, and when somebody speaks on how uneducated she sounds, it's always them being shady. I'm over, okay, not over. She, as in Tamara Hall, this person is basically saying, she made Porsha look like what the rest of, what I'm saying, the world was thinking Porsha was looking like. I'm not going to say the word. Y'all not playing with Porsha in these comments. I do agree when certain people come on, she has a way of being condescending. Y'all forgetting Porsha young-minded and very money-hungry to marry that grandpa. Now I see Simon's somewhere like, now why am I in it? Porsha, you got with that man and everyone was side-eyeing you. Stop it. The nerve of Porsha questioning someone's credentials when she's famous for the size of her. Wow. And the nonsense that comes out of her double-wide Jesus. The same Porsha who said she's in journalism. Ma'am, have a seat. My goodness. All of this, why on God's green earth would anyone with sense be mad or bothered by Porsha? The girls who actually read on the regular are not interested in her book. So for Tam, someone that's smart and sophisticated to even pick it up was enough for her to be grateful. These chicks are clearly young and misguided. Wow. I be so sick of Porsha. She don't marry this African and think she's smart. Child, Simon out here catching strays, okay? Catching strays. Honestly, seeing Porsha on her show, she lacks accountability and don't like to be called out on her stuff. I like Porsha, but she has some maturing to do. They wouldn't be doing their job if they weren't asking the questions people want to know. What exactly do you consider shade? You expect her to handle them with kid gloves? Do you know what a real journalist's job is? Y'all really hate when black folks hold other black folks' feet to the fire. Y'all stay picking and choosing and handing out passes. Shaking my head. Now, I will say this because I'm fair. I know it's funny now and some of the comments were harsh, but I'm talking about the fun shade part because it's Porsha. But because I'm fair, let's talk about it. For those of you who support Kenya Moore, I rock with her too. When she was on there with her soon-to-be ex-husband in Brooklyn, and when she was on there separately, some of you are not too happy with the way how Tamara, asked certain questions and her body language, and some of you felt like she was condescending towards Kenya, and the list goes on and on. So just because it's Porsha, let us not pretend that some of Kenya Moore's supporters felt that way. Feeling that way is one thing. Saying someone attacked you or you felt attacked because they asked you real questions, you did get with that man in a messy way. So you thought you're going to go on her show and she was going to uplift you and not ask you about the hot mess you were a part of. That's where she lost everybody. Kenya Moore is a boss. Kenya Moore understands that people have a job to do and she doesn't take things personal. The way how Wendy Williams went to the lowest of the low when it came to talking about Kenya Moore and Kenya Moore issues with her biological mother and all of the things that Wendy said. If it was Porsha or her big sis, we would have never ever gone back on the Wendy Williams show. But Kenya is a boss and she's aware these people have jobs to do. I'm still going to go on the Wendy Williams show if she invites me. And she did. And when Wendy would throw her shade, she would throw it right back. And that's the difference between the Porsha and that girl over there and the other girls. They take things too personally. And that's the reason why Kenya can do interviews and say, you know what, yeah, I wish this person well, and it's not a big deal. Now, why I keep changing this woman's name? I'm going to say Porsha. Porsha, you really mad that lady wasn't with your beau and saw right through you? Child gone. Porsha spent years trying to look like a housewife, yet she has the audacity to say Tamron Hall, an educated journalist who worked for some of the largest news outlets in the world, is trying to look like a journalist. Be worried, please. If you are paying attention to the screen, you will see that the rest of the comments are on the screen. You can put me on mute or pause and read the comments for yourself, because if I keep reading them, we will be here all day. And once again, this video will not get posted. And for those of you who are on social media, will be in my DMs. Vina, where are you? There's all of these hot topics going on and you are not a part of it. What's going on? Okay, so I have to get the video up today, right now. So because of that, you can go ahead and read the rest of the spicy comments for yourself, because people did not play, okay, with Porsha Williams. There are other things I wanted to talk about, but I will be back with a part 2. But yeah, there were some moments where Angela could have stepped in and defended certain people, like, you know, K. Michelle, and the list goes on and on. But I have a part 2 coming out because someone else responded to what Porsha had to say. A celebrity did, and Porsha responded to that celebrity, and they had a little back and forth. And so I want to do that in the part 2. And in that video, I will discuss about times and moments where I felt like, yes, Angela could have stepped in, even though she, you know, wasn't obligated to step in to do any of that. Anyways, I'm wishing all of you well and take care.
My loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.